Let's go to this story now. The South African Federation of Trade Unions is calling for a stay away and general strike on the 24th of August. This is in response to the ongoing power cuts, fuel price hike and the rising cost of living. For more on this, we're joined by SAFTU spokesperson Trevor Shaku. He's joining us now virtually. Trevor, thank you very much for your time. We spoke to a political economist earlier, and he was saying that, with some of the things that we see happening in our country right now, of course, we know that South Africa was in trouble already, but right now with the big petrol price hikes, etc., it's not something that, we did to ourselves. It's not self-inflicted. This is something that happened because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict that we have no power over. So what's the point of striking? That's the question.
First of all, thanks for having us, Maseko, and
Sure.
Good afternoon to you. The issues of the rising costs of living in the country but across the globe are first and foremost the questions of capitalism, the capitalist mode of production. It is predicated on the production of commodities with the sole purpose of making profits, and as a result, on a yearly basis, they try by all means to push prices higher and higher so that they can be able to make profits cumulatively. That is the first point. The second point is that you have what we call the commodity traders in the market, in the commodity trading market globally, who are trading in commodities. What they do is that they go to the original or initial producers of these particular goods. They buy the futures contract, they buy the contract of these particular goods in the futures market, and they hoard these particular contracts, hoping that at the time of the turnover, the prices of those particular goods would have gone up. And in most instances, we've seen that they hoard these particular goods, push the prices to go higher so that they can be able to make maximum profits. And as a result, the global capitalist economy to which South African government is part of and has actually committed this country to since 1994 is part of the problem. And as a result, the South African Federation of Trade Unions sees the question and the crisis of the rising cost of living in that light. That is the reason why we will be protesting.
Now, is the protest still going to go ahead even with NUM, writing a letter to SAFTU saying that it won't be able to support you financially? This is your biggest member affiliate.
Yes, the protest is going on. The South African Federation of Trade Unions has its own campaigns levy, and we will plow out of that campaigns levy to ensure that we financially support the logistics of ferrying comrades from different places to points of assembly to ensure that that particular strike becomes a success. But more so, we are encouraging workers, to those who cannot assemble at the places where we will be assembling, to ensure that they stay away from work and assist us to close the economy of this country on that particular day.
So with NUM saying that it won't be able to support you financially, does it mean that it won't be able to support you, by asking its members to be there?
No, we had our National Executive Committee meeting 2 days ago, and in that they reaffirmed, as they did in July, they reaffirmed their support for the national strike, and as a result, we will all be lobbying all members to ensure that they attend the strike. As we speak, the comrades in Roslyn, in Ekurhuleni of NUMSA, who are currently mobilizing for that particular strike. They are members of NUMSA in Western Cape, in Eastern Cape, in Mpumalanga, who are currently mobilizing for that particular strike. And we are hoping also that they'll be joining elsewhere in the country. But the leadership of the union has affirmed its support for the national shutdown.
What do you say to those who say that the decision, to say that they won't support you financially, even though they're saying it's because of legal reasons and the fact that they're fighting so many legal battles in court? Some people are analyzing that this has to do with the NUMSA, SAFTU, issues when it comes to the SG of NUMSA, Irvin Jim, as well as Zwelinzima Vavi of SAFTU. What do you say in response to the people who believe that the decision not to support you financially arrives from that?
People have every right to make sense of the situation in whatever way they deem fit, and using whatever puzzles which are available for them to connect and draw analysis and conclusions out of that. However, we as the leadership of the Federation, we believe that the concerns that NUMSA has raised are genuine, because it just financed a Congress which is common knowledge and is in the public that they've spent about 39 million rands for that particular Congress. And beyond that, they've been engaged in other activities which require financial commitments. And we do, as a federation, therefore, believe there are reasons. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Shaku, thank you very much for your time. And just very quickly, in 30 seconds, what should South Africans expect? Where is the meeting point? Where will, which roads, for instance, if any, will be affected? Will South Africans be able to move around?
The command councils in Gauteng, Free State, and the Western Cape have decided on the points of assembly, but also where will be the destination of these marches. In Gauteng, we have decided to gather at Burgers Park 10 o'clock, and the march will move towards the occupation of the Union Building. In Free State, we'll start at Batu location from 7 o'clock, but from 10 a.m., the workers and the communities who will be joining that particular strike would move towards the Premier's office, the OR Tambo building in Bloemfontein. In Western Cape, we've agreed that we'll meet at Keizersgracht assembly point, and will move to Parliament. So these are the areas where, in as far as I'm concerned, comrades have already identified in various provinces.
All right. Well, thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Shaku, here on eNCA. Trevor Shaku is the spokesperson for SAFTU.